Good day, everyone. We are the Group 6. My name is Herry o Oclarit, and together with me today are my group mates, Mr. Mondigo Kenneth Edward H, Mr. Odto Freinze Kyrk T. So our topic for today will be about the lateral marks from Region A and lateral marks from Region B. So next slide, please. Course outcomes. First, distinguish the different regions in Ayala Voyage system. Second, understanding of lateral marks in both regions A and B. So next slide, please. Learning outcome. Determine the purpose of lateral marks. Know the different characteristics of lateral marks. And finally, be able to distinguish lateral marks from the different regions. So next slide, please. So importance of the topic. Lateral marks provide necessary information, including the conventional direction of voyage. By doing so, we can apply this in our voyage plan to uphold safe and efficient navigation. So next slide, please. So again, to refresh our knowledge, what are lateral marks? Lateral marks are generally used for well-defined channels in conjunction with the conventional direction of voyage. They indicate port and starboard hand sides of the route to be followed. Red and green are the colors reserved for lateral marks. So next slide, please. So lateral marks in Region A. So Region A are the areas in green. So next slide, please. Lateral marks in Region A includes Europe, New Zealand, Africa, and the Gulf of most Asian countries, where port buoys are red while starboard buoys are green. So take note, lateral marks are used inbound. So in order to help you get the gist of lateral marks better, can to port and cone to starboard. So this applies in both regions. So in the next slides, you will be able to understand this term much better. So again, lateral marks in Region A. On our port or left-hand side, we have the color red with the shape of a can, maybe a pillar or a spar. And when fitted with a top mark, it is a single red can, as you can see in the image. So its retroreflectors are red band or square. So retroreflectors reflect light when shined upon. So this can be seen in some cases in your coveralls or in building materials you can see on the road. So on the starboard or right-hand side, the color is green, the shape is conical or like a cone, and a pillar or a spar. So when fitted with a top mark, it is a single green cone pointing upwards. So its retroreflector are green band or a triangle. So next slide, please. So in terms of light, the port hand side will have red flashing lights in any rhythm except 2+1. On the starboard side, it will have green flashing lights in any rhythm except 2+1. So why except 2+1? We will discover that on the later slides. So some examples of lights that are, or rhythm of lights that is applicable to such lateral marks at night are shown here. So continuous quick light, single flashing lights, long flashing lights, or group flashing lights. So next slide, please. Preferred channel marks, Region A. At the point where the channel divides when proceeding in the conventional direction of voyage, a preferred channel is indicated by a modified port or starboard hand lateral mark. So next slide, please. So if you can see this on the left-hand side, we have the preferred channel to starboard. So it means that it is much better for your vessel to head to starboard. So its color is red with one broad green band. Its shape can be a can, pillar, or spar. When fitted, its top mark is a single red can, and retroreflectors are a red band or square. While on the other hand, if the preferred channel is to port, the colors will be green with one broad red band. The shape will be conical or pillar or a spar, and when fitted with a top mark, a single green cone pointing upwards. Its retroreflector will be a green band on a triangle. So, just a little hint for you guys. If you find these lateral marks or preferred channel marks confusing, just look at the color which is in the middle and try to follow where that color indicates. So, for instance, if it is green right here in our left hand side, so you head to starboard, and in our right hand side, if it is red, then it is preferred that you go to port. So, next slide, please. So now let's talk about preferred channel marks in Region A. So the reason why lateral marks show any rhythm of lights except for the group flashing 2+1, it is because it is reserved for the preferred channel marks. So here in the group flashing 2+1, if it is in the color red, it means preferred channel to starboard. On the other hand, if it is in the color green, it means that the preferred channel is to port. So again, composite group flashing 2+1 light is reserved for the preferred channel marks in both regions A and B. So next slide, please.
Lateral marks in region B. So next slide, please. So region B are areas in red. So, lateral marks in Region B. Region B comprises of North, South, Central America, Japan, Korea, and the Philippines. Port buoys are green, while starboard buoys are red. So keep in mind that lateral marks help to indicate which side of the waterway is to be followed. And canto port and cone to starboard in both regions. Next slide, please. So in this image shown, port left are green. So the color is green and the shape of the buoy is first is a can, second one is the pillar or buoy. When fitted top mark, single green can. So retroreflector, green band or square. So next one is color red, the shape of conical, pillar, or spar buoy. Fitted top mark, single red cone pointing upward. So the retroreflector is the red band or triangle. Next slide, please. So here are examples of flashing lights. So continuous quick light from port side is a quick green, and the starboard side is a quick red. Single flashing light from the port side is flashing green, and from the starboard side is flashing red. Long flashing light from the port side, long flashing green, and from the starboard side is a long flashing red. Last one is the group flashing light. From the port side, 2 flashing green, and from the starboard side is 2 flashing red.
Thank you for that, Mr. Mondigo. So now let's talk about the preferred channel marks in Region B. So at the point where a channel divides when proceeding in the conventional direction of voyage, a preferred channel is indicated by a modified port or starboard hand lateral mark. So in preferred channel marks in Region B and Region A, it is a complete opposite. So next slide, please. So here are the characteristics of the lateral marks. So in the characteristics of the preferred channel to starboard lateral mark, its color is green with one broad red band in the middle. Its shape is, it can be a can or pillar or a spar. Top mark, when fitted, it is only a single green can, and its retroreflector is green band or square. On the other hand, preferred channel to port, its characteristics is color with red with one broad green band in the middle. Its shape is conical, pillar, or spar. Its top mark, when fitted, it is only a single red cone pointing upward. Its retroreflector is red band or triangle. So now let's talk about the characteristics of the lateral marks. So as what Shane said earlier that the lateral marks light characteristic is only composed of group flashing 2+1 light It is different because it is only used for preferred channel. So in the preferred channel to starboard, flashing 2 plus 1 green light, and on the other hand, in preferred channel to port, flashing green light 2 plus 1. Next slide, please. So now let's take note of the following. Where port or starboard marks do not rely on con or conical buoy shapes for identification. Next, if marks are at the size of a channel, it is numbered or lettered. The numbering or lettering follows the conventional direction of voyage. And lastly, special marks with can and conical shape painted yellow may be used in conjunction with the standard lateral marks for special types of channel marking. So now, taking into account of what we have discussed earlier, let's have a quick review. What region does this image below show? So if you know the answer, kindly comment it in the comment section, and I'll just give you 5 seconds to think about your answer. So for those who have answered region A, you are correct. Why? Because it is region A because the ship is going inbound. And on her port side, we can see a lateral mark with color red. And at the center, we can see the lateral mark in the preferred channel, which is the green, red, green conical lateral mark. So here are the references used in gathering the information needed for this report. So that would be all for the group 6, and I hope you learned something about our discussion. Thank you and have a good day.